Well, we're going to get back on here. We're not going to spend much, well, I'm not going to spend any time on President Trump. I mean, as far as we know, he's good. Thank God. A few people died. Damn shame. And who knows? I mean, you think, I don't know. We gonna get the truth out of it? I don't know. I doubt it. But let's put all that aside. Let's talk about something that really affects your life. See, the economy is set up to where we're all interdependent upon each other. And that's not just in this country, because you are dependent upon the guy next door and the guy down the street. The banks are dependent upon them. You see how it works? It's all interdependent. So, and then around the world, the same way. Countries are all interdependent, codependent, whatever, on each other. So, when they get ready to crash the system, they have to do it worldwide. Wipe it all out. Have the other system in place. And hope for a smooth transition for them. Everything's going to change. The laws are going to change. The total banking industry will change. It's not going to be anything like it is now. And they're going to fix it so you don't earn enough to pay for anything. You're not going to earn enough to pay for a roof over your head or a car or anything else. And they're going to crash the prices. I mean, you're going to see homes drop. I've heard anywhere, I've seen anywhere from 50 to 80%. Could even be more. And land prices are the same. They're going to do the same thing to the markets. You got to crash everything. Just the transfer of wealth is all it is to the whatever, not even 1%ers. Probably 0.5%, maybe if that. So they got to transfer all this wealth to them. So when they get all done, you'll have a one world economy. And let's say, who knows? It's going to be called what? Who knows? Let's say just dollars or yen or rubles or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. But everybody will be making the same wage. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where in the world you go, your wages are going to be the same. I mean, and it's going to be something just pitiful, like $10 an hour. So you're not going to be able to afford anything. It's all going to be digital. And you're going to have to give up your rights and your privacy and a whole bunch of other stuff to get into the system. The mark of the beast. See, where I'm going with this is, you're listening to all these people spew And that's what they're doing. They're just spewing, regurgitating stuff. The system is not going to resemble anything that's going on today. Totally different. So all your gold, all your silver, all your barter, all this and that stuff isn't going to do you a bit of good. Whatever you got stored in your mattress ain't going to do you any good. You're not going to be able to pay your bills if you're not in the system. And even that's going to be bad. Because you're not going to be able to pay your bills. Basically, you're a slave to the system. And that's where I'm going with all this. You're going to give up your godly rights to be a slave to Satan. The Great Reset, whatever you want to call it. So when people sit out there and they tell you you're going to do this, this, and this, I don't think they've seen things clearly. I mean, maybe I'm all wrong. And man, I hope I am. I hope I'm so wrong. Because the transition's going to be pretty bad. There's going to be a depopulation in the transition of just people here, there, everywhere in the world, fighting, killing each other just for survival, the whole 9 yards. And eventually, like everything else, they get tired of fighting, get tired of killing each other, and then they give up. And then they'll accept the system. And they'll be glad to accept it. So I figured I'd get on here and throw that out there for you. But the only thing I will say about President Trump is, man, they really got it up for that guy. They hate him. I mean, it's insanity. It's bad enough they go after him on bullshit. I mean, just nothing. Make crap up, lie about things. I mean, the whole 9 yards, man. This guy's done nothing. But they hate him. Why? Because he stands in their way. He stands in how fast things can get done. He's got a veto pen. He's got an executive order pen. He's got a military pen. He's got quite a few hats there and quite a few pens. So he can put a big damper into their plan. And they're afraid. See, you're fighting Satan here, folks. That's what you're fighting. Satan's been doing this a long time. You've heard me say it before. He's perfected his craft. He knows what he's doing. So, don't think it's going to be a walk in the park and your storable food and your bug out place and all this and stuff that you think you got and you're going to do and blah 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 is going to work out for you. There might be a few that things will work out okay for. And I believe that's because of the grace of God. You see, all throughout the Bible, it talks about not having enough food to go around. They wandered the damn desert for 40 years. God fed them. He gave them water, nutrition. He gave them all that stuff. The sermon. Reach your hand in, they pulled out a fish. Reach your hand in, they pulled a loaf of bread, and that just kept going and kept going. There was another one in there too. Anyways, I can't remember it right off the top, it's slipping my mind. But anyways, the lady didn't have her and her child didn't have enough. But God told them to go there, and she'll take him in. She said, I don't have enough. I said, I've got a little small cup of flour and a little cup of water, and that's it. That little cup of water and that little cup of flour lasted months. God kept adding to it, if that's what you want to call it. But if you understand what I'm going with this and saying is, nothing is impossible for God. You say? It's prudent to have some stuff sitting around. But don't get carried away. You think you're going to have a grocery store in your house basement, your bug out place, whatever. Okay. As everyone knows, shit happens. And plans don't usually work out as they were planned. There's usually a wrinkle in there somewhere. So, just remember, God's there for you. And it's called faith. That's what it's called, faith. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. So, when you think it's the worst, and it's dark and it's storming, and the sea's ripping it apart, man, them 12 apostles, man, they went everywhere with him. And they're all afraid they're going to die. Jesus gets up. Sea calms right down, wind calms right down, and they all stand there in amazement looking at each other. It's like, you've watched this man. Well, man, I say man. God. You've watched him raise people from the dead. You've watched him feed people from nothing. Heal the sick and the blind, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then you're amazed he can do that? Even they had little faith. So folks, don't let this trickster, this devil, this piece of crap into your life. Stay true to God. Stay true to His Word. President Trump has God on his side. We're all here for a reason. We just don't know what reason that is. We're not smart enough to know these things. But we all have a reason why we're here. We all have a purpose, and we don't know what that purpose is. Little or great, doesn't matter. The smallest little thing may be the thing that changes the world. The smallest little thing. How you to know? You gotta have faith in God. He knows. So, with all that said, y'all have a good one. And don't forget to pray. Don't forget to pray and thank God. Keep thanking Him. That's what you're here for.